My name's Caleb, and I'm going to show you how to make a fence planter box out of salvage materials in a matter of less than an hour. How I've done this is I've turned it into a community gardening project that is focused upon donating money to charity by renting each little pocket out for $4 a piece, with all proceeds going to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Edmonton. Here are 3 of my boxes I've built so far. This one is filled up with vegetables and herbs. I have about 7 inches deep and 7 inches wide at the bottom. I've divided into 5 equal spaced rows and used everything that has come from what was being thrown out around the industrial area around the city. One of the first things you're going to need for this project is a bunch of pallets. Went around the city, found a bunch of places that have piles of them. Generally there's 2 piles, one that they're saving for returns and another pile that is sitting beside their garbage bin and is ready for anybody to take. Most people burn them. Let's make something useful out of them. I've ripped apart a few pallets. This is the best way I've found to do it. Actually, this is the worst way I've found to do it if you're trying to salvage the wood. You can go ahead, you can pry the boards up. Some come up nice and easy like that. This is a newer pallet. Still has some spiral nails. The older pallets, they have real spiral nails that hold. You try to break them off, they snap into a million pieces, and all you got left is a little bit of kindling. This has been my favorite tool of choice for ripping these pallets apart so far. Trusty old Sawzall. You want to make sure when you're using this tool that you're cutting away from yourself at all times. You be aware of what you're wearing with your eye protection. Probably should have a little more than just shorts on, but that's what I like to do in the summer, is make sure I enjoy a lot of sun. Anyways, what you want to do, put the tool down, let it do the work. Has a little bit of a lever action. You can let the Sawzall go like that. It will cut for itself. Pretty simple little job. Board's not split. It's ready to be used. Make something out of nothing. The absolute worst way to do this, you'll probably end up wanting to try it after the other ways, is with your hammer, trying to beat the board off. There isn't much left other than more nails to pull and kindling. First thing to do is decide how big you want your planter box to be. What works for my fence is a 5-foot box. I've stripped down the front side of this pallet. Now I'm going to sister on some wood from another pallet. Doing that, I'm just going to add some carpenter's glue, shoot it on with some brad nails. Now my pallet's bigger and I'm ready to go ahead and do the next step. So I've got my pallet here. It's 5 foot long, 4 feet wide. Now I know what the length of my baseboards are going to be. Time to start putting everything together. To build each one of these divider boxes, I've got my 4-foot faceboard. I've got a 10.5 inch sideboard, which will be fastened like so. I've got a 9 3/4 inch board, which is going to be my divider, which will go like this to separate the plants from each other. The angle I chose to use was 15 degrees. I'm sure any angle will work. Here I go. do now is just glue the two end pieces. I guess you could glue it here. You glue it here. You glue it anywhere, really. Just wanting to make sure we get a good contact so the unit is fastened nicely. When nailing it, you want to ensure that you're flush with the back side of the pallet, these 1x4s here. You're going to be wanting to staple filter cloth, and it's nice if they're all in a row. Step I missed to describe in the earlier video was to add on a piece to the side here to make it pretty much the same size as the upper at 4 feet. Doesn't really matter when you're salvaging. Adds a little bit of character, makes it look pretty good. Move the sides. Make sure you got this going in the right direction. Now, if you want to be particular, which I'm trying to be here, I'm going to find the center in between the two. 49 inches. Every time I measure that in half is 24 and a half. My board is 5.5 inches long, 2 3/4 down. Gives me my marks for where I want the next one to be fastened to. Measure up here, 21 7/8. Now, I apply a liberal amount of glue over here again. Line up with my marks. Shoot it on. Find my mark. Do the same thing as you just did. 21 3/4 here. Back to half the thickness of the board. Get what you got. Trying to do this as quick as possible because I'm trying to make a bunch of these, so I'm not really going to double check everything's perfect. I feel like it gives more character. You can go ahead now and shoot some nails on the backside wherever you have some pallet material to do. Just to stiffen these guys up a little bit. I'll add a board along here as well, just to give something for my fabric to touch into. Take material away from your fences. Just going to slap these on, tie this all together, cut my little scab bottom, fasten it in, and make it into one big unit. under an hour, got ourselves 25 separate planter boxes. One thing I didn't show is this little bottom board here. You just want something that you can place your filter cloth onto. I've made sure there's a little shim in here so any water can't really be collected. And there she be, ready to hang. Here's the planter we just built. I have taken it, I decided where I wanted to fasten it on the fence. One thing to keep in mind, what I've done is I've braced my fence from the back side before hanging this. Once I've hung it on, then I've added some support at the bottom, so that once it gets filled with all the water and the soil, it doesn't pull the fence down and end up with a big, complete mess, and a little bit of utter embarrassment, I believe, would be the result of something like that. If you don't mind, I'm going to take a break from this and give you a little spiel on why I'm doing this for myself, and share what I come up with for an idea for a community charity. Thank you. Hi, Caleb Timbers is my name. Hope you enjoyed my little video there and you decide to do a little bit of urban gardening yourself. Now I'd like to take the time to kind of give you a little rundown as where my idea came from for all of this. Recently in my life I've made some positive changes and decided it's time to pay it forward for the very easy life that I have been graced with. I've recently decided to volunteer to be part of the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. During the interview process, I was asked what the struggles that today's youth face are. Never thinking of it myself, the answers that I came up with were the urbanization movement, social skills, and work ethic. In a roundabout way, on trying to get some of those into my mentees' lifestyle, I decided to pound the pavement, write 60 of my neighbors a letter, and had the idea that I was going to rip up my front yard and turn it into a market garden with a take what you need and give what you can mentality. Through that, I went around talking to all of my neighbors, and I spoke with a lady that had a lot of experience in gardening, and she informed me that with that endeavor I would not be raising very much funds, because you can grow what you need to feed your family on your front yard, and you should, but it wouldn't be at the level that I'm trying to achieve. When she informed me of that, I got my back a little up and said, you know what? I'm going to do spatial gardening techniques then. I went home and I got online and I started looking some things up. What I came up with was a canvas closet organizer situation where I was going to have the public sign them for $2, and they would do a donation as the same as you would when you were going to the grocery store and they bug you for an extra $2 to sign a little handprint, and this way they could get something back from what they gave. What I've come up with for my little plan is I'm going to be renting out each of these little pockets for $4. I'm going to make sure that everything stays watered, the soil is good, and people can choose whether they want to come pick it themselves or they can just let anybody in the community use it. It's pretty simple. I think it gets a lot of things done at one time. If there is any excess of greenery, food, which I'm assuming there will be, I will be taking it down to the people on White Avenue here in Edmonton, feeding them some fresh produce, and can't really wait to see what this can start. And if you yourself wouldn't mind maybe firing me off something along the same lines, it would be great to have a little movement started. I have a Facebook page going. It's Caleb's Charity Garden, as I'm not truly a community garden. And let's see if we can't make a difference, because together we can.